Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial, kind of get ready with me style makeup tutorial for this look that I've done now. So it's kind of a deep lip using one of my favourite matte lipsticks, and the eye and cheek look is using my Mercier palette that I showed in my recent haul, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please thumbs up and subscribe if you did, and stay watching to see how I did this look, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start off by using a bit of Bioderma. I've already cleansed my skin this morning, but it's a bit later now, so I just want to make sure there's nothing on my skin before I start applying products and things, so that's why I do this. Usually I just put my makeup on straight away, but if I do have a gap for whatever reason, sometimes at the weekend I like to put have my breakfast first and then put my makeup on. I just do this just to make sure there's nothing on my skin that's going to create any breakouts or anything. So I'm going to go in with the Origins Ginseng Eye Cream. You've seen me use this before, so you probably know already that I really love it, but in case you're new, then this is my favourite eye cream for during the day, and it's really good for under makeup and conceals everything a little bit easier than without it. So pop that on. Next thing is also something that I use all the time. It's Origins Ginseng Moisturiser with a sheer tint release. I find this again gives a really good base for makeup, and I just apply it with my fingers. If you're wondering what's on my nails, it's a red carpet manicure, and I have filmed a video on it, which will probably be up during the week. So once I've done that, I'm going to go in with the Tarte BB cream. Now, I bought this ages and ages ago, but I didn't really try using it on its own. I always just used it under the Tarte powder foundation, but Lexi from Fashion Fills, also Totally Vlog, mentioned this in her favourites, so I got it back out again, and I've really been loving it, so that's what I'm going to use today. Apologies if I'm looking down, my mirror is down here. This does come with a brush, but I find it easier just to apply it with fingers. It's a very light coverage, but I really like the finish of it, and it looks really natural. It feels quite oily when you put it on, but it doesn't break me out, and it doesn't go oily throughout the day, so I think it's just the finish of it. It is actually called a BB primer, so you can use this under your other foundation, but for me, I think the coverage of this with some concealer that I'm going to use in a minute is enough. So now I'm going to use my Maybelline Instant Eye Eraser Concealer. I've used this loads before, and just put this all under the eyes, and I take it slightly further down as well, just to make sure I've got everything. And I'm going to use the brush actually that goes with that BB cream, and it's this Tarte sort of flat top brush, which is really good for concealer actually, because it's small enough to get into the eye area. And I don't know why I always open my mouth when I'm doing anything with my eyes, but I do. And then just to conceal any bits of scarring, I've got some scarring around here from some old blemishes. I'm just going to use my Rimmel Match Perfection. This is almost run out. I've already got a spare one in the drawer. I prefer it to the Collection one. It's a bit more moisturising. I find the Collection really dries my skin out. But it is amazing coverage, especially if you've got like acne or something. It is really good coverage, but for me this is enough, and I really like it. I'm just going to blend that in. I find like tapping it in helps to give it more coverage. Just blend it down the neck just to be sure that I've not missed anything. And then this is something I use all the time. It's my NARS translucent powder, my favourite powder, and all I do is tip it upside down and then So shake it a bit to make sure I've not got too much product there, but there's enough. I'm going to use my Real Technique, because I think this is a blush brush actually, but mine's rubbed off, but I think it's a blush brush, and I find this really, really good for powder. So I'm just going to use that and set that in. I use this powder with any foundation, but I find it with BB cream you really do need to powder, otherwise it doesn't stay on quite as long as you might want it to. So I kind of pat it down my T-zone and then just dust it over the rest of my skin. So once that's all done, that's my foundation done, and I'm going to use the Benefit What's Up highlighter. I bought this quite a while ago and never really got into using it, but I tried it the other weekend and really impressed by it, so I decided to start using it again, and I was really impressed. And all I do is blend that in with my fingers. So you can see where I've put it just kind of under the brow bone and on the tops of the cheekbones, and I blend that in with my fingers. I find that fingers is a really good way to blend it in, and this product works fine on top of powder, which quite a lot of cream products don't actually, but this one really does, and it just gives a really natural glow which isn't too intense. So once I've done that, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier palette that I showed in my sales haul, and this is the limited edition Christmas palette, and I realise you might not be able to get this now, but I thought some of you may have bought it after I showed it in my haul, or you might have got it for Christmas, so it might be useful for you. And I think most of these products are in the normal range anyway, so I'm going to use this rose gold shimmer in the middle, which is kind of like a bronzer blushy kind of thing, and I'm going to use this is a Gemma Kid blush brush. All I'm going to do is put that where I would put a blusher, just under where I put the highlighter, and this product is really nice. It's kind of like a bronzer blusher hybrid kind of a product, and I just really blend that on, because you don't want too much of it. Well, I don't like too much of it anyway, and I need to make sure that it's really blended, because there's nothing worse than having a harsh line with your blushes, and it probably looks quite harsh on camera, but it's not in real life. To be sure, whenever I've applied my blush, I go back in with my powder brush and just make sure the edges are really blended with my skin. There we go, so that's my skin done. I'm going to do my brows, and same products as I usually use, the Maybelline Brown Satin. I just use this really roughly to just shape my brows a little bit. You can tell it makes a little bit of a difference. I have really thick brows. I realise some people might not like that. That's fine. This is just how I like to do my brows, and there's nothing wrong with thin brows if that's what you prefer. I'm just quite a big fan of the Cara brow, so that's what I have, but I know they're not to everyone's tastes, but that's just what I do. And then I'm using, sorry I didn't say, the Maybelline Brow Drama mascara, which I always use. I use this every day without fail. I'll move on to eyes, and MAC Paisley Paint Pot, which is another thing you know I use all the time. Even though I'm doing quite a bit of a different look today than some of my other tutorials, you will realise that quite a lot of the products are the same, because I don't like to be wasteful, so I kind of like to use up products before I buy new ones, especially things like primers and stuff like that. But I have got quite a few foundations open, and I thought it would be good to do an alternative one for you, so that's why I decided to do the BB cream one, and also I've rediscovered it, so I thought some of you might not know about it. This Paisley Paint Pot is really good if you've got veiny eyes, or you just want to get a really nice blank canvas to work with. I use it because I feel that it makes my eyeshadows look a lot more pigmented, and I think it makes them stay on a lot longer than they would if without. If you don't like the idea of this, I'd recommend the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base, which is really good as well, but I'm all run out of that at the minute, so I haven't got that to show you. So I'm going to do the eyes, and I'm going to use this side of the palette, which is kind of like a nude pinky sort of tint to it, and I'm going to start off with Morning Dew, which is it's almost kind of a white colour, and I'm going to put that in the inner corner. This is a MAC 239 brush. This is a special edition brush, but I do have the normal one. It's just dirty at the moment, and you can still get it and everything, so this is one brush that you can still get. And I'm just going to put that under the brow bone, slightly over the top of where I put the Benefit stuff before, and that just brightens up the eye area, but it's really subtle because it's a matte shade. And then I'm going to turn the brush over and go in with this Cashmere shade, which is another matte shade, kind of like a lilac-y grey nude, which comes up a lot warmer on the eyes than it looks in the pan. I'm not quite sure why, but I just pop that all over the lid. It's really quite subtle, these eyeshadows, but they're really nice to work with. They last really well on the eyes as well. Now I'm going to go in with a number 7 dupe of the MAC. I can't remember the name of it now. So 127, the MAC one that looks like this anyway. I'm sure you all know what it is. And I'm going to use this crystal beige colour, which is in the corner. And this is a shimmer, sort of a deep purpley brown colour. I'm just going to pop that in the crease. And I just check that I've got it pretty even, which that looks to me. And then I go in with the MAC 224 brush, and I dip it in a little bit of that white colour that we used before, and I use that to blend out what we've done. This brush is my favourite for blending out eyeshadow, because I think it just does a really good job, and it blends without taking the colour off, which isn't what you want. Yeah, I just really like it. Me Rimmel Lash Accelerator again, because it hasn't run out yet, and I said I wasn't keen on this before, but as it's dried out a bit more, I've started enjoying using it a bit more. So maybe it's just one of those mascaras that needs to dry out a little bit before you use it. And I'm just going to coat the top lashes. I'm going to use my Clinique bottom lash now. This is my favourite thing to use on the bottom lashes because it doesn't crease, it doesn't leave a black smudge underneath, and it stays on all day. So that's kind of the makeup look done. Now for lips, I've chosen the Charlotte Tilbury Glastonbury matte lip, which is quite an intense one. It's really dark, and if that's not your cup of tea for this kind of look, I would recommend like a nude or a nude pink colour, but I think this is really beautiful, so I'm going to show you this today. And I don't use a lip liner with this because it stays on all day as it is. It doesn't really need it, and I've had no problems with it smudging or anything, so I just use it straight from the thing. But if you want to line first, you can do. I always like to get the middle right first before I move on. I don't know why. That is kind of the Queen of Hearts look from Alice in Wonderland, but it just really helps me to get my lipstick where I want it. That's kind of the finished look, so I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and do let me know any requests you've got for videos and things, anything you'd like to see in particular, and let me know. And I just wanted to say hello to all my new subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do, because it really cheers me up. Every time I check my channel and it's gone up 1 subscriber, I smile, and I think I just feel like I've achieved something. It really does make a difference to me, so please do if you've not already. And I love reading all your comments too, so thank you for all the lovely comments you've been leaving me on my videos. It does mean such a lot that you've taken the time to tell me what you think, and that's great. So please comment if you like the video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!